gigs come back, they're going to certainly favour domestic artists because it's very unlikely, at least initially, international artists will be able to come out to Australia with travel bans. Have you factored that into your forecasting? Do you think you're going to be at a huge commercial advantage when that happens?
Well, I think the fact is that, it's going to favour Australian artists because I think that they're going to be the only ones here. A couple of weeks ago, we announced that Unify is going to be an all-Australian lineup in January 2021. That was something that we were passionate about doing as far as supporting the industry, the local everything. But as we workshopped the idea, it was pretty obvious that was probably our only choice. But the idea was born out of a genuine passion for doing something for the scene. And, as the response has been from the audience, the Australian heavy music scene is one of the best in the world. So it was kind of a no-brainer. But I think next year could be a really, really great year of Australian touring. We've got some huge acts that have just dropped albums or are just about to. Ocean Alley's about to drop an album. Illy is close. Vance Joy's working on an album. There's so much talent that's going to put out product and not be able to tour it. And so when people, imagine when people get to see Violent Soho play on this new album, it's going to be crazy. So I'm excited for when we can, and we all are obviously. But I think that there could be a really special. I think Australian music has been buzzing for a long time, but this could just take it all to a whole new level. I think as far as people really appreciating just how quality Australian music is.
So what do you think a post-COVID-19 music industry look like? What do you think will be the fundamental changes we will see in the new world?
Well, I think there'll be, it's not just going to go back to normal, obviously. And, if you want predictions on this, you're better off maybe not watching the news, but, talking to someone that's not a music guy. But it'll take time. The capacities will be small and they'll open up and over time. But I think more than anything, I think we're just going to maybe, one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing us work together more. I think the Australian industry compared to others is already quite collaborative, but I do think that it's going to be really important that everyone is really pulling in the same direction. Agent, manager, promoter, label, artist. That's sort of number one. I think that people are going to really value their time, I think, and their mental health a lot more than they did, because as much as this isn't easy, working at home and sort of it's a lot of the stresses that we used to have are kind of gone. A lot of the bullshit that we used to put up with isn't here at the moment. It's kind of all morphed into other sort of areas. But I think that I've been enjoying this time to have some really honest conversations with people, and not to be rude or to talk down to people, but just rather than maybe putting up with certain people's behavior in the past, it's more, hey, we're all in this together. You might be having a bad day, but everyone on planet Earth is having a bad day today. So I feel like empathy levels are rising and all these sorts of things are transforming, not just the music industry, but the whole planet. And I think that, I just think we could be in a place on the other side of this where things not necessarily are going to be easier, but I just think that we're going to value our time a lot more.